Howdy! Welcome to the veritable edge of Western civilization, Venice Beach, California. Today is Friday, October 10th, 2014. And this is show number 89. And you know what that means. That means when we start again on Monday, we'll be doing show number 90. 90, we're getting up there. Yay! So, what's new and wonderful? Once again, we have epic weather. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Beach is magnificent. I'm in my little tank toppy thing, and I want to get right into this painting. We started did the background the day before yesterday, and now started doing the sacred geometry yesterday. What's that? What are you saying?
I was talking about a friend of mine that lives out in actually Joshua Tree on the middle of the desert in Palm Springs, and he's an amazing artist. And he just posts his stuff on Instagram. He doesn't sell it or anything. I just think if he came down here, you know, he could probably earn a living just being the artist that he is instead of doing what he does professionally. You guys do amazing work.
Is this all you're writing?
You bet.
Everything's your own personal quote.
Yep. And I do the paintings, the photography, I paint the frames. It's all original work.
When I got out on the bike trail, some of your inspirations, a lot of this, the geometry of it all, is something that I gravitate towards. This one right here with the heart in the center, pieces like that really speak to me. Mm-hmm. What'd you say your inspiration is? I don't have to ask.
There's only one inspiration.
Spirituality.
It's called the universe, right? It's around here somewhere.
What are you working on now, man?
I did the sacred geometry for this yesterday. I painted the background the day before. You see, the background is this. It's in a lot of my paintings. Where the mountains come down to the sea. And this is when I asked myself, okay, what's the sacred geometry I'm going to put in there? What came is I saw a doorway within a doorway within a doorway. And I knew that the best way to do this doorway is to make it a golden mean rectangle. So once I figured out, you know, what the golden mean rectangle was, something said to then do these radiants. And then you get into this checkerboard thing. And
What'd you use to get your circles? It's not freehand. What'd you use?
The compass.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Were all these painted right here?
Most of them. I've been painting here. Well, I've been painting since 1987. I painted in Venice for the first time in 1989. And then, you know, I started coming here full time pretty much back in 2001.
It's a while. It's interesting. I've walked the strip a couple times and I don't remember seeing your spot before.
Well,
I would have talked to you before had I seen it. I might have come on a day that you weren't here.
Yep. Well, you know, we move, right?
Yes.
It's always first come, first serve, and I only come out in the afternoons these days.
That's why I normally come down and walk through pretty early in the morning with my kids.
Yeah.
On the weekends.
That would be when I'm sleeping. I work pretty late at night.
Besides, so you do something besides this, or you paint pretty late at night?
I do all my painting out here, but I write and work on the computer. You know, preparing the prints and all that kind of stuff at night. I've self-published 15 books and I've got a couple more in
Like
the hopper.
written books? What do you write? What type of books?
Well, one was my autobiography, and a couple were have to do with divine metaphysics, and then there's a couple on sacred geometry, and there's a couple of movies. This right now I'm working on the sequel to my last documentary, which I made also into a book. It's about these archaeological sites I discovered in Los Padres National Forest, Big Sur, that the Forest Service didn't know anything about, that I feel may be connected to the Hopi story of the survivors of last road purification by flood.
So where can I look up to get information on these on the books and the movies? Where can I find some information?
My website.
Yeah, I'd love to.
In fact, you can watch that movie on YouTube for free.
Just can you give me like a
It's called
a name?
Emergence Beyond 2012. In fact, you can.
Have you have a card or?
This is the book. I mean the movie, the DVD, and this is the book, and you can photograph it.
This is you, David Alexander English.
Yeah. See the picture on the back?
I do that. Looks like you.
It could be me. It might be. I don't know. You know, it could be one of those imposters impersonating me. But
where's Los Padres?
Los Padres?
It's a Big Sur.
Yep.
Okay. You already said that.
Yeah, the Los Padres National Forest is a pretty big stretch of coastline and inland. It goes all the way over to into the Central Valley. That whole coastal range is pretty much in Los Padres. In fact, that picture is what it looks like there. It's
amazing, that tree standing alone on top of a hilltop. It looks very familiar, like it's been used somewhere before, maybe.
That's what the coastline.
This is the first thing that I saw when I was coming up, actually. There's something about that single solitary leafless tree by itself that something about that I like.
Yeah, those trees are oak trees. And this whole coastline, when you get up into altitude, there are a lot of oak trees, and the natives, I think the natives actually planted them because a big staple
Could you
for
imagine
their
back in
diet.
the day, the Native Americans were like planting the forest that,
Yeah, because, and the reason they did that was because a big staple for them was acorn meal. And so they would harvest
cornmeal, but acorn meal.
Exactly.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, but you would have to. It's something that you have to. You can just set that. You have to leach out the poison, the tannins. Otherwise,
Really?
it's too bitter.
Is it a poison though? Is acorn inedible by humans?
It's not. It's just that it's the tannins that are just make it like you wouldn't want to have it in your mouth. But if you take that out, if you leach it out, then it's something you can use like the way that we use flour or cornmeal.
Right.
So
that's interesting.
Yeah, it gets even more interesting. I found there's this place in the Ortega Highway.
74.
Right. If you where Crests before you go over into what is it, in Lake Elsinore, right? Right. There is I met an artist that lives up there, and he has a place it's been there a very long time. And there's a creeklet that runs, certain times of the year. And right across from his house there's a phallic stone that is about 2/3 the height of that building. And at the base of it, there are these ancestral stones that the native women would use to do that, to crush the acorns and leach the tannins out. And so they would leave their ancestral stones on this phallus at the base of the phallus, and they're still there.
It's crazy. It's crazy how like some things withstand the test of time.
How much are these?
These are 5. These are 15. Without the frame, and then in the frame they're 20 and 35. There we go. Yep, it's been one of those, like I said, Fridays are always one of those days, either they're buying or they're not. And today, so far, not. Couple looky-loos. Not a lot of gas changing hands yet. This too could change in a heartbeat. So excited to see what this looks like when it's done. What we got? 70, 73, 26. So once again, there won't be any show this weekend. We'll pick it up on Monday, Moon Day.
I'm like, all right already.
Buenas tardes. Permítame un momento. Mire, le tengo una foto que la otra vez le tomé caminando por aquí y ahí se la quiero dar. Porque andaba usted de traje entero. No, yo le tomé permiso. Yo le dije, don José, para memoria, y me dijo, tómala. Y la de traje entero y ahí la tengo y la guardo. Sí.
Hi.
Acá y aquí en mi país también, y allá por también, hermanas de personas que allá lo que hacen es que le comienzan a la policía, no se la devuelven. Oh, okay. Oh, de las aguas. Puede ser, pero lleva la... Es mejor que estamos con trabajo.
Hi. Howdy.
How are you?
I'm good, and you?
Donde no hay nada, solo río. Lo que estamos hablando.
Let's get a little chilly.
Mire, ¿qué tal Dios?
63.
Me dieron como 90 días. Como 30 horas.
Life is so weird. It's interesting that you can live your whole life paying attention to life itself, trying to understand life, try to enjoy life. And, you know, everything will happen that can happen. And still you're trying to understand. There's more to understand. There's more of a grasp that you can get upon it. And for the most part, you go around clueless. It's what's pretty amazing about this, about the creation.
For sure. Style.
This morning I had a vivid, I guess almost a lucid dream. I guess it was a lucid dream because I knew I was dreaming, but it was sure vivid as could be. And I saw my friend Kelly, and I knew he was dead. And it was really great to see him. We just hugged. And I remembered what it was like to hug him, you know. In that last 2 weeks that I spent with him, you know, I had to get him up every day, you know, several times a day, 4, 5, 6, 7 times a day, to go sit on the pod or pee or whatever, you know. So, because he was so much bigger than me, I had to, like, you know, grab him around the chest and under his arms and help him stand up, you know. So we spent a lot of time hugging, and I got to feel that feeling again, you know, feel his weight and his girth, because he was a big boy, you know. And it was just, I think we really enjoyed those times. I know he enjoyed just the physicality of being able to move, being able to stand up in the end there, you know. Because when I got there, he wasn't really able to stand up on his own. And it's funny, it wasn't until I think it was like 2 days before I left that he actually got up by himself for the first time. And however long I've been there, like 3 weeks or so. I didn't even know that he could. Anyway, it was really good to see him, even if it was just asleep. And it's good. You know, people are cool. You know, people are okay. And life goes on. It's funny, is it? Funny, not really funny, but weird is yesterday morning I dreamt about, I had a similar experience with his brother who just passed.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess it's is that last weekend? No, it was 2 weekends ago, because they had a memorial for him on the weekend, last weekend, up in Boulder. And there were these really cool pictures. They released all these balloons with a message on them. And there's this really cool picture of the balloons in the sky. Stuff sure gets me thinking about, like, What if I knew that I was going to go? Like they both had knowledge that they were going to go, or that they might go. So, it was a coin toss. But at one point, they knew that there was no turning back. Like I said, Kelly was 42. His brother was in his late 30s. And then there's other people that, just keep hanging on, just keep living. It's so bizarre like that, and show no signs of letting up. I keep coming after these experiences. Just keeps coming back around to it. All depends on what your mission is. If your mission to stick around, then you stick around, and if your mission is done, then you're done. You're gone.
Yeah, I mean, if it's of interest, so.
Are you accomplishing? Am I accomplishing what I came here to do? It's been a meditation the past couple of days. And what's funny is I ask myself, am I accomplishing what I came here to do, right? Am I getting it done? And I started thinking about like 2 days ago, and both days, both yesterday and the day before, random people. Actually, it happened again today too. Random people that you don't even think are paying any friggin' attention to what you're doing, have stopped and expressed. Like there's this cop that used to be here on the beach, and I haven't seen him in a while, and he just showed up again today, walking the beach. And we were just talking, and all of a sudden he looked over and he saw this piece. He was like, "Whoa, that's friggin' brilliant. That's magnificent," And just random, taking it from the universe. When there's a certain financial struggle to continue to do this here, because it's not paying very much, and I'm living out of my Volkswagen bus, but I'm living out of my Volkswagen bus at the beach, which is none too shabby. It sure beats being stuck in anywhere else, that's for sure. But it's a certain struggle to keep doing this, and living hand to mouth from month to month, not knowing if I'm going to be able to pay the bills, though they may not be that much. If you don't have the money, then and then there's things I have to take care of, like my teeth and so forth. I've needed to go to see a dentist for quite a while, and I'm no closer to accomplishing that. And so I think I made this week, this is Friday, and just going back to Monday, I think I made $20, something like that. Made $20 yesterday, and then I must have made something else earlier in the week. Yeah, I think I made 25 on Tuesday or something like that. And you know, it's a good thing I don't have a lot of overhead. But you know, the idea of that, having my own place, you know, upgrading to living indoors like everybody else is like, and like I used to when I could afford it, when the boardwalk was paying, is even more out of reach at this point. You know? So the question is, if you're, you know, if I'm fulfilling what my mission is by, you know, living on the edge like this for so long. I've been essentially living out of Volkswagen buses since 2008, since the economic downturn. And, you know, I had no idea it would be this long, you know, except for about an 8-month stretch there where my bus was toast, and I was, you know, living on people's couches and the occasional motel room. I don't know how I did it. I never had to sleep on the street during that time for 8 months. It was amazing. I always had a bed to sleep in, or a couch to sleep on, or something. And then the only reason I was able to get my bus back was because of the kindness of some friends. Basically bought it back for me. But in that time, in this time period, you know, from 2008 till now, actually 2007, you know, I published those 15 books, and I published two movies, and then there's all the other projects that are in the works, you know, book projects and whatnot, and a couple movie projects. I guess when I say a movie project, I don't mean like there's a budget or anything. I mean like it's an idea that I'm executing myself with whatever resources that I have, and you know, not relying on anybody else to. But it's so exciting to be able to execute, you know. 20 years ago, before computers and everything, before laptops and personal computers and everything, you know, I would just be another guy with an idea walking around instead of another guy with an idea that he can actually execute himself, you know, and the tools to do it. And then all I needed was some electricity. So I guess, you know, in answering that question, am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? The answer would have to be yes. Even though, you know, not a whole lot of people are buying the books or buying the movie, watching the movies, whatever. Or not enough people are buying prints of the paintings. And but I think about that, like with Kelly and his brother. We should talk about this on the phone. But once in a while we talk demonstrating what we wanted to do, what we wanted to accomplish, and what we would do had, you know, resources to do it and all this. It's amazing what you can accomplish with almost nothing. And we'd share ideas, collaborate on stuff. I forgot some of the stuff we collaborated on. Like we used to have our own server for our websites. We each had like about 15 websites going. Trying to make our millions. Oh well. But I think about, you know, if I knew, what would I do differently if I knew that I was going to be going soon? Or what would I do differently today? How would I live today differently? First thing that comes to mind is, I don't think I'd be worrying about any of this stuff. And I would definitely be sitting here painting this painting, you know. And I would definitely, you know, after I pack all this stuff up, I would go to the internet cafe and finish working on my next book. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So there, take that.
What, Greg?
I love this process. I love the process of discovering, you know, what the work is supposed to be, coming up with an idea or realizing an idea and executing it. I just love how it comes about, you know. And I've kind of accepted that, you know, this work is all going to look very similar, and you know, it's just how it's going to be. But something tells me that it's important, you know. I think if you can paint, you know, put some colored paint on a piece of fabric that can make a police officer just drop out of their police officer stuff, just go, wow, man, that is friggin' amazing. You know, or a street kid to just forget that they're hungry for a minute and just go, wow, that is just, you know, that's got to be a good thing. You might be on the right track. I was listening to the radio yesterday, and there was this artist, author being interviewed, and he was talking about his own, you know, when he first started getting into creativity, he tried painting and he tried this and that and whatnot. And he just said, oh, I wasn't good at it, and so I moved on. And I think, you know, often especially in this culture, there's many people that want to be creative, and they haven't found their thing yet. And in that trying, there's so much of it is masturbation, is masturbatory, And what's me and many other artists is when you see somebody who's in that masturbatory stage of their development, artistic development, and they're getting all this attention for their masturbation. People are making so much of a big deal out of it when artistically it's not very imaginative. It's not even very enduring. Nobody's going to remember it in a year. Never mind in 5 years or 100. But in any other way as an indulgence. And so that's been a bit of a challenge. And often those folks, when you see those folks getting all that attention, there's usually money involved. There's usually somebody with some money behind them that are pushing them, pushing their work. And but it doesn't make the work any better, And I think this kind of work that I'm doing, it's not even in that ballpark. It's not even in that arena. I think that there's a lot of folks that are out there, and they think that painting or sculpting or whatever, especially in conceptual art, in the realm, there's a lot of money in conceptual art. The whole museums and public art thing is really invested in the conceptual art. And I saw that when I went to the Venice Biennale in Italy in, what year was that? I think it was in 2001. Is that 2001? I think so, yeah. It was, the Venice Biennale is kind of like the Olympics of conceptual art. There's all these different countries with pavilions, and which means they have artists that represent those countries. And I was really disgusted I saw there, and especially in the American pavilion, because they showed two artists, and the guy that they showed, the sculptor that they showed, who was the main featured artist, it was his second time. And what he showed was just, a big rock with a stick on it, another rock. Yeah, it's just rocks and sticks that you could just see that walking down the sidewalk, for Christ's sake. It was, and the fact that it was his second time representing the country of all the, this is a country of 300 million people, and you telling me that there's only one artist that's worthy of, that's creative enough to represent the country? It's like, who do you know? That was, not to mention the fact that the work was just friggin' a waste of people's attention. But, the realm of conceptual art is a lot like that. There's so much of that stuff going on. Oh, yeah. But I guess one of the lessons from all of that I've learned from all that is not to pay a whole lot of attention to it, just because, you know, a certain kind of art or a certain artist gets a lot of attention and play and everything like that. It doesn't necessarily mean that the art is good or the art is worthy, or that it isn't worthy, or that the artist isn't good. It doesn't matter with regards to, you know, what I'm doing. Because at the end of the day, I have to do my work, whether anybody's paying attention to it or not. And because that's my job, that's what I chose to do. And if I wasn't doing it, my mind would be screaming, my heart would be not in a good place, you know. So I feel blessed. I mean, so blessed to be able to do what I do right here, you know. I'm just really, I'm not freezing, I'm not starving, I'm not sleeping on the street. Yeah, hopefully. And I do get to do this work, so, which is, you know, mostly a purely selfish endeavor. Because motivation is really my own satisfying my own curiosity, you know. I get 20% and get as much time as I can. I'm not going to sweat it if it doesn't happen. Just because I can't wait to see what it's going to look like. I took a photograph of it last night before I put it away, and then I looked at it later. Wow. It looks pretty amazing.
There's no horn here. There's no horn. There's no horn.
Now things get a bit more complicated.
Some البيت تحت في غار المشان كذي. Sí, tranquilo, tranquilo, sí. I like that ass. How much is something like this going for?
Like what? That's 350 and that's 450.
That's true.
Whoa, look at the sunset. Look at the sunset.
Nice.
I don't care. We're here once in a while.
Thanks.
I want to.
That live feed.
Look at the stars.
Take as many as it takes.
Will you? Wait, you guys gotta get photos.
Hurry.
But don't get, you gotta get
Together anymore.
Hey, man.
It's called learning to fly.
Say again?
It's called learning to fly.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I said it's called learning to fly.
Learning to fly? That is neat.
Thank you.
I like the colors.
Thank you. There's a blue version of it too over here.
I like the colors. Oh, yeah. Heck yeah.
Where we at? 15. Gotta go soon. Back up. Oh, the drama. I would normally just keep painting. I was done with this today, but
Gonna watch the sun go down.
what? What he said?
I said I'm gonna. I said I was gonna stay a little longer. I said I guess I'll watch the sun go down with you.
That's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Look at that cloud right there.
Yeah, doesn't it look like you know what it looks like? A giant sperm whale or a you know what? Actually,
It's like it's swimming away from us.
yeah, it's like it's turning away, going back out to the ocean.
Yep.
It looks like an ancient tri-fin sperm whale or orca.
Uh-huh.
The front end kind of looks like a little orca. Look at that giant tail.
Yeah.
See how it comes
That's
all
it.
the way
Yeah.
over here?
It's beautiful. That's the thing about clouds. There's no wrong answer, you know? With clouds, whatever you see is whatever, you know, there's no wrong. Oh, you can't see that. How can you, you know what I mean?
Right, exactly. Exactly.
What do we got? 13. Yeah, finish this bottom piece and then call it
I
a.
think I'll probably get mine. So I'll be ready.
I think it's a holiday weekend, Columbus Day on Monday.
Pero pues
Something like that. Hey. There it is. So, sun's about to set. I gotta get off and see. There's several police officers milling about. Don't want to give them a reason to write up a ticket. So, once again, remember, we love you.